51. Welcome home. It was Wednesday, 7 November 2018. I was on my way back from Somerset West, alone in my car, thrilled, elated, terrifically ecstatic, almost daring to escape out of my body. As I sped down the winding road, the scenery blurred together in a kaleidoscope of colour, my senses still reeling from the events of the past 2 days. The unmistakable signs were there. A tsunami of goose flesh rippled up and down my body. My heart pounded like a drum. My face was aflame. My breath was suspended in anticipation. And I felt an unshakable conviction that I was poised on the threshold of a profound revelation. The previous day's meeting with my future employers in Somerset West had been a resounding success. But what truly had my heart soaring was the extraordinary news that had arrived 48 hours earlier. A fully signed offer to purchase my house, secured during my whirlwind trip to Somerset West from Oudtshoorn. 2 days had passed, yet the surreal circumstances of that momentous deal still left me awestruck. My property had been the holy grail for the mother and son duo. It ticked every box on their wish list. They had been searching for a dream home with dual entrances, sprawling grounds, and ample space to relocate their treasured possessions from their heritage farm outside Oudtshoorn. With their farm sold, the clock was ticking. They had to vacate by 30 November, making securing my property their top priority. As the buyers viewed the property with the estate agent, they were informed about the contentious divorce proceedings between Henny and me. Henny's section of the house was off limits, and they had to rely on the agent's description and photographs to understand the layout. The agent also warned them that Henny had become hostile and entrenched, threatening to resist eviction unless compelled by a court order. Yet, spectacularly, miraculously, supernaturally, they were undeterred. Given the complexities of the situation, I knew that a rigorously crafted purchase agreement would be crucial to the transaction's success. As a seasoned real estate agent, I had the fortunate advantage of handling the sale of my cherished childhood home. Henny, who had served as a transferring attorney on many of my sales, had instilled in me the importance of crafting precise purchase agreements. I knew I needed to utilize every skill I'd learned to create a watertight agreement, ensuring this emotionally significant transaction would be a success. With this in mind, I meticulously scrutinized the purchase agreement, outlining the terms of the sale with clarity and precision. What the buyers had signed stated that I would grant them occupation on 1 December, except for the section occupied by Henny. They would pay occupational interest until 28 February 2019, at which point I would grant them vacant occupation. This meant that Henny would have to vacate the premises by 28 February, allowing the transfer process to commence towards successful registration soon thereafter. The buyers requested use of the single garage where Henny's possessions were stored. To facilitate this, I would arrange for his belongings to be removed and stored in a temporary unit at my expense. The removal would be done discreetly via the back entrance, and the estate agency principal would verify the inventory to ensure everything was accounted for. Driving back home, I sensed that my move to Somerset West was imminent, perhaps just days away. My landlord had graciously offered to let me move in early, allowing me to occupy the premises for free during November, ahead of the official 1 December lease commencement. Another unexpected blessing. Upon my return to Oudtshoorn, I would arrange the moving date and also coordinate with a moving company to transport Henny's belongings to the storage unit, killing two birds with one stone. The move, involving both my belongings and Henny's, would be a monumental task, and I was on edge. My nerves were frayed at the mere possibility that Henny might receive an unexpected visitor who could witness items being removed from the garage or my own possessions being moved and alert him to my covert operation. As I drove, my anxiety about the impending move still lingered, but it was slowly overtaken by thoughts and overwhelming emotions of release, relief, and exhilaration. The tension that had been building up inside me began to dissipate, replaced by an intoxicating sense of freedom and liberation. I had left Barrydale behind and was now cruising down the 80-kilometre stretch towards Ladysmith, still 150 kilometres from Oudtshoorn. As I approached the turnoff to Ronnie's sex shop, a quirky pit stop, I recalled the local legends surrounding its origins. One night, pranksters had spray-painted the word sex on the sign between the professionally painted words Ronnie's shop. Rather than removing the graffiti, Ronnie decided to roll with the joke and transformed the spot into a now world-famous tourist attraction and roadside pub. Located about 50 kilometres before Ladysmith, Ronnie's sex shop was a tempting detour. Without warning, I felt an inexplicable urge to take the turn off and stop. I pulled into the parking area, turned off the engine, and stepped out of the car. The sensation was eerily familiar, reminiscent of the thrill I experienced on 18 August 1998, which led me to the veld outside Oudtshoorn, where I received my first channeled message. This time, I was certain about what was unfolding. There was no room for doubt. The signs and signals were clear. I knew that divinity had an important message for me. Given the recent developments, I quickly grabbed a comfortable seat outside Ronnie's sex shop, taking in the breathtaking view of the Swartberg mountain range and its highest peak, Toverkop, meaning bewitched peak, in the distance. I pulled out my journal and pen, ready to receive the message. The small town of Ladysmith lay nestled at the foothills of the Swartberg Mountains, hidden from view for the moment. I wrote in my journal, Wednesday, 7 November 2018, 2:51 p.m. Alyosika, oh my. Paradigm shift, yet again, for you, today. You have once again increased the intensity, frequency, and ambience of your core identity. Your frequency is now on a new cosmic platform. An entirely different and new level of existence welcomes you. Yes, Alyosika, welcome home. Today, you have arrived home, and I welcome you with open arms. I have waited with longing and an outstretched open soul for you to enter. covenant, home, sanctuary, rainbows, waterfalls, butterflies, consummation, matrimony, union. Yes, Alyosika, yes. The moment I channeled the word home onto the page, a seismic wave of energy coursed through my body. It was a raw, unbridled force that awakened a deep sense of freedom and release. As the tears flowed, I sensed the weight of my emotional burdens lifting like shackles falling away. Composing myself amidst the curious glances of the other patrons, a mix of seasoned bikers and adventure seekers, all united by their love of the scenic R62 route and the quirky charm of Ronnie's sex shop, became a Herculean task. I hastened to my car, eager to continue my journey. As I covered the remaining 50 kilometers to Ladysmith, I felt surges and ripples of energy coursing up and down my body. The sensation was unmistakable. It was identical to the ripples I had experienced 2 months ago on 7 September when I had back-to-back interview appointments at 2 different real estate agencies, one in Durbanville and the other in Somerset West. As I reflected on that pivotal day, memories of the past came flooding back. I recalled the moment I departed the interview appointment in Durbanville, a Cape Town suburb, and headed to Somerset West. It was then that an incandescent wave of energy had swept through me. Every molecule in my body had vibrated with an exquisite, almost unbearable tension, as if the very essence of existence was being distilled into a singular shining moment. My grip on the steering wheel was a tenuous thread, connecting me to the world of the mundane, as I soared on the solar winds of transformation. Even in the midst of that whirlwind experience, I knew with unwavering certainty that I would accept the job offer in Somerset West. The package, location, and lack of connections all became irrelevant in the face of that unshakable conviction. As I approached Ladysmith, still reeling from the profound moment at Ronnie's sex shop, I pulled over to the side of the road and began to flip through the pages of my current journal. A poignant entry caught my eye, and I felt a surge of elation and joy. It was an inscription I had made after my interview appointments. On that return trip on Sunday, 9 September 2018, another 9/9 day, I had recorded a video clip on my phone, prophetically declaring from the driver's seat, "My house is sold and I am happy." I then transcribed those exact words in my journal. At that time, I had no potential buyers, no interest, and no reason to believe that my house would sell anytime soon. All I had was the power of faith and trust that divinity would pull it off. Unbelievably, I had done that on the exact same stretch of road between Barrydale and Ladysmith, where I now found myself going back to Oudtshoorn. I marveled at the synchronicity of these two incidents, the declaration that my house would be sold and divinity welcoming me home. I pondered the significance and meaning of it all, searching for the deeper truth beneath the surface. To me, it signified that I had finally come home to myself in this lifetime. embracing the fullness of who I was and the culmination of my soul's journey. I revelled in the timing, infused with a profound sense of hope. I was ready to face the final days of my life in Oudtshoorn and the tasks that still lay ahead before I could embark on my new life. As I stood at the threshold of this new chapter, I felt an overwhelming sense of liberation. In that moment, I knew that I had crossed the Rubicon, leaving the familiar shores of my old life behind. As I gazed out into the horizon, the majestic Swartberg Mountains rose up before me, their rugged peaks a testament to the untamed beauty of the unknown. In their shadow, I felt the thrill of the uncharted and the promise of a future yet to be written. But a hidden truth lay just beyond the horizon, waiting to be revealed. The words, "Welcome home," held a secret so profound, so intricately woven into the fabric of my destiny that it would forever alter the course of my life. Unbeknownst to me, the winds of change carried the secrets of Toverkop, the bewitched peak, whose mystical energies were at work, unseen and unknown. The message, "Welcome home," was merely the first thread in a tapestry of enchantment, woven by divinity itself and poised to unfold over the next few months of my life.